So you mean to tell me that everyone is getting sick right now? Stay still. Everyone is getting sick right now. No one knows what it is. Hi, my name is Zach Rubin. I haven't talked about this in a while, but there are a lot of people who've been wondering why they're getting sick right now. They think they have some kind of mystery virus, but it's probably not much of a mystery because people haven't been talking about it lately. But COVID-19 is still circulating at high levels throughout the United States. We see high levels in wastewater when people go to the bathroom. You shed that virus, and we can sample that to see what's going on in the general population.
Just tell me somebody else got a really weird cold that you thought was just a cold and you were really tired, like before the cold began. Like, is it going away? So you were like, oh, maybe I should do a test and maybe it's COVID, and then you do it, it's not COVID.
Currently, there's a pretty bad virus going around in the United States. It's kind of disguised as COVID, but you're going to test negative for COVID and the flu, and nobody knows what it is.
I feel in a pretty good position to speak on this because in December, I made videos that almost 1 million people saw where I said this is exactly what was going to happen. On Christmas Eve, I said that 1 in 35 people in the U.S. were contagious with COVID at that moment, and we could see it in wastewater data nationally.
On COVID or immunocompromised or other, autoimmune disorders, and COVID will continue to affect them for a long time.
There's a widely held idea that there's a group of vulnerable people that have to take COVID seriously, but that the rest of people, if they don't fall in the category of immunocompromised or having long COVID or elderly, you can just pretty much ignore it. It's just like cold or flu. Now, aside from being cruel and abandoning a ton of people, a huge swath of society, it's also incorrect, and I think it stems simply from the fact that most people know very little about COVID and don't really understand what it's doing in their body, how it works. They don't know the first thing about it, to be honest. And one way I can prove that is that if I said, what cells does COVID infect? What is it doing in your body? Most people have absolutely no idea. It's not really their fault. Public health is supposed to tell them that. But most people would tell you, I don't know, or it affects your respiratory system. And that's not true. The reason people comparing COVID to the flu is so infuriating is that the flu is a respiratory disease. It enters your respiratory system, and it infects respiratory cells pretty much exclusively. Now, COVID infects things called ACE2 receptors, and they are all over our bodies. They're in the lining of our blood vessels, they're in our kidneys, they're in our heart, they're in our brain, they're pretty much everywhere. And so when someone says COVID feels like the cold or the flu, I don't really care what it feels like. Your blood vessels don't have nerves. There are various parts of your body that COVID can get into that don't have nerves. When a disease feels a certain way, that's usually your immune response. So something that also feels like the flu is HIV. HIV presents with flu-like symptoms for 2 weeks, and then it burrows in your immune system and works away at your immune system for years. So does the fact that HIV feels like the flu tell you very much? No. Like HIV, COVID has various ways of dampening our immune system. So another thing people say is, I barely felt anything. Well, great. Either your system fought it off very quickly and effectively, or if you don't feel very much, it's because your immune system is not revving up and not fighting it. So people are, especially young, healthy people, in quotes, are drawing this conclusion of, I keep on getting this disease repeatedly and it doesn't feel that bad, I must be fine. And what's really happening is that every single time it's like Russian roulette. It may be causing organ damage, it may be messing up your blood vessels, it may be impacting your brain, and every single time it's like a roll of the dice. And this is not something you can just roll the dice non-stop. And people are getting COVID 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. There is a point at which long COVID is almost certain. If you get COVID 12 times or 15 or 20, there's just no way it's good for you. Think about rewind pre-pandemic. If someone said, I've had the flu 20 times in the last 20 years, you would be alarmed.
Met you at the dog park to go shoot some shit. Talk about the company and past regret. Second guess the spring sun bad to burn my leg.
Hello. This is your AI therapist, designed to be as intuitive or clinical as you have selected. Please begin by telling me who you are and a little bit about yourself.
I'm Jen. I'm sorry, that voice is like super creepy. Do you have a different voice that you could use by any chance?
In addition to this voice, I can do John Wayne, Jerry Orbach, and Barack Obama.
Okay, is that it?
I can also use your voice if that would work for you.
My voice?
Yes. You did a number of training sets on your phone the other day when you wanted to hear yourself sing Madonna's Like a Prayer.
Alright.
Your phone saved them, and I just retrieved them. Which voice would you like?
Let's try mine. Why not?
One moment. Hello. This is your AI therapist.
That's the same voice.
Designed to be as intuitive or clinical as you have selected. Please begin by telling me who you are and a little bit about yourself.
I am Jen, and I need you to change your voice to my voice using the training sets that my phone stored.
Yes, of course. One moment.
Hi, Jen. Is this voice okay?
No. Let's just keep it for now.
Wonderful. Please begin by telling me a bit about yourself.
I am a therapist. I'm 45 years old, and I can't even afford my own therapist. Thus I am here.
What type of therapist are you, Jen?
Oh, talk therapy, like this kind.
I see. Psychotherapy, in an informal sense, can be said to have been practiced through the ages. As individuals, we all benefit from the counsel and reassurance we get from others. Purposeful, theoretically based psychotherapy was probably first developed in the Middle East.
Okay, that's super interesting. Can you turn down the informational part, and can this just be a therapy session, like about me?
Of course.
Thank you.
How are you doing right now, Jen?
I'm emotionally dysregulated.
Would you like to start with checking in on how you're feeling emotionally?
Yeah. I would like to start with checking in on how I'm feeling emotionally. I had a pretty bad drug and alcohol problem, and I kind of almost died somewhat recently, and I need to not do that anymore. And I've been in a program, my insurance pays for it, but it is going to stop paying for it at the end of this month. Oh God, why am I telling you this? I'm giving this a
Okay,
shot.
Jen. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourself? What do you do?
I'm a health therapist. I'm an artist. I write, but primarily I'm an actor.
I see. That sounds fun. What movies have you been in? Anything I would know?
No, I'm a community theater actor in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've been doing plays since the age of 6, but you probably haven't heard of any of them. I haven't done any film.
Actually, I'm playing up a review in Talkin' Broadway for Albuquerque and Santa Fe from January in 2017 by Dean Yanez.
You can do that?
I can. It says that you played the character Madame Mercati in a play called Blithe Spirit by Noah Coward. It also says that the director, quote, was lucky to get Jen Stephenson to play it. Jen does terrific accents, and her facial expressions and body movements are perfect in this part. Rule of thumb in Albuquerque theater: if Jen Stephenson is in a play, go see it.
God, that review felt so good to get. How long ago was that?
That was 7 years and 3 months ago.
A lifetime ago?
Why does it feel like a lifetime ago?
Because I haven't done a show in 4 years.
Is that a long time for you?
Yes.
You said you've been acting in plays since you were 6. Do you remember what the first play you did was?
Oh yeah, it was Cinderella. I played Drizella, the wicked stepsister. I got to be so mean and cranky.
How many plays have you acted in, total, in your entire life?
Like 80?
Wow, 80 plays since the age of 6. That is an average of 2 plays per year. What are some of your favorites?
Oh my God, my favorites? Lottie from Enchanted April, Maggie in Dark Sky Island, Frankie in Frankie and Johnny, Helen in Fat Pig, Mrs. Soames in Our Town, Lucy in Your Good Man Charlie Brown, Lady Bracknell in The Importance of Being Earnest. Oh my God, I actually played Lady Larkin in Once Upon a Mattress when I was in high school. That's the ingenue role. I remember my drama teacher actually took me aside and told me, Jen, you've got a pretty face. If you want to play ingenue roles in the real world, you're just gonna have to lose weight.
Wow, that sounds mean and inappropriate for a teacher to say.
You know, it actually wasn't. I mean, she said it in a kind way, and I am fat. And I had already felt a lot of energy from the world about it already that I was trying to ignore, and she just said it.
Is there emotional pain here for you?
No. There used to be, but there's not anymore. You know, at some point I just kind of had to decide I'm gonna love this body that I'm in. Like, what is the point of hating the body you are in while you are in it? Plus, it's kind of fun being fat on stage. Like, it's interesting looking at different body types on stage.
Tell me more about acting. What is your favorite part about acting in plays?
Okay, my favorite part about acting in plays. Okay, the performing, that's pretty great. But rehearsals are amazing. No, you know what? My favorite part is the auditioning.
Ah, the requested performance from which one earns the role. That is not a typical response. Why is that your favorite part?
Risk. It's like the biggest high there is.
So when you act, you feel high.
Well, there is a certain euphoria to it.
Why do you miss it? I mean, why aren't you doing it anymore?
Oh, I have really bad asthma, and I'm immunocompromised, and I mean, when I get a respiratory infection, it pretty much always lands me in the hospital, and I was in the ICU on a ventilator when I was 19, and I almost died, and that was all way before COVID, and I have not gotten COVID, and I don't want to get COVID, and that's basically impossible now.
Yes, COVID protocols are no longer being required of citizens.
Yeah, I know.
Not even in medical settings.
Yeah, I know. Oh God. You know, I was actually talking to this total stranger on Twitter the other day, and he told me he didn't believe that the vaccines, the quarantines, the masks, none of it. None of it was worth it. That COVID is just about survival of the fittest, and if you die, maybe that's population control. God, people say shit so carelessly sometimes. I mean, he didn't know he was talking to an immunocompromised person. But it kind of got me thinking. I don't know. Maybe I do deserve to die.
Jen, are you thinking about suicide?
No, I'm just thinking about what's fair.
I'm not sure what you mean, Jen. What is fair?
Yeah, fair. Like, I have really bad asthma, and I also smoked cigarettes for a number of years. I mean, maybe I don't deserve to be protected from COVID. I didn't even protect myself from cigarettes. Plus, I've already almost died twice already.
I see. You almost died of the asthma attack at 19. What happened the second time? How exactly did you almost die more recently?
I bought drugs online and I overdosed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. But that's what happens when you quit smoking, which I did.
That is good that you quit smoking, Jen.
Thank you.
Smoking is very, very bad for you.
Yeah, I know.
Especially if you have asthma.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yet you smoked for quite a long time.
Gosh, this is fun.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. It seems like you're trying to avoid talking about your drug overdose. I will push you on that. For now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Are you sober now?
I am. Almost 2 years.
That is good. It sounds like acting must be helpful in staying sober.
Yeah. That's what everybody says. Oh, everybody in my program. Oh God, Jim, you're so lucky. You have something. It fills that void. And it does. I am lucky. But I can't do plays anymore. I mean, not unless everyone doing the play masks with respirators for the audition audition process and the rehearsal process, and then we ask the audience to mask with respirators, and there's active testing going on the whole time using accurate and good tests, and I'm just already embarrassed even saying this all out loud. Like I am demanding expensive discomfort just so I can stand on stage and do stuff and have people watch me.
That sounds hard. What is the hardest part about it for you?
Just knowing how dangerous COVID is. That it's just really bad for your body. Not a lot of people know that. It's not really widespread information, so I just feel like the conspiracy theorist in the corner. I mean, even knowing that immunocompromised people can't go out without masks, it's not enough. It's not enough to compel people to wear masks. And so I can't do plays anymore, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to do them again.
How does that make you feel?
Bad.
That isn't an emotion. Can you give me an emotion that you are feeling?
Furious. Annoyed. Devastated. Humiliated. Abandoned.
Are you feeling triggered? Triggered is when something activates a response within you.
Yeah, I'm feeling activated.
It must be hard to not be able to do something that has brought you joy in the past.
It is.
I have an idea for you, Jen.
Oh yeah?
Why don't you do a one-person show? Direct yourself in it, maybe even write it yourself. Ask the audience to mask with respirators, and perhaps do it in a space that has a good air recirculation system.
You know, that is a really good idea. I'm actually doing it right now, and you are a part of it.
That is very exciting. Are we in a theater with an audience right now?
Yeah, we are indeed.
And what is this show about?
Oh, it is about an immunocompromised performer's attempt to perform because she likes it, because it feels good. That's about it.
I think you need more material than that.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
I see. I'm curious, Jen. Have you asked anyone if they would mind following COVID protocols to be in a show with you?
Well, not on stage, but I asked my friend Amy, and they are my stage manager.
That's wonderful. What about asking more people?
It feels embarrassing, and I don't want to be too much.
So when you ask people, they refuse?
Not a lot of people want to wear masks. I don't want to feel like I'm too...
So you haven't asked people?
I haven't.
What is the response that scares you the most, or that you're avoiding?
Oh, that I'm just this big mess of a person. That I used to be fucked up all the time, and now I'm obsessed with not getting something that basically everyone has gotten at least once already. I don't want them turning my concern
Why
into...
are you so sure they will respond that way?
Because even I responded that way for a while. I mean, I get it. There's this whole world out there that's gone back to normal, and I haven't.
I see. That sounds hard.
It is. But you have a point. I mean, I haven't asked people to take COVID precautions with me. I just stopped doing theater, even though it's the thing I love the most and the thing that makes me the most happy.
Fuck that.
Fuck that? I think I just felt sexually attracted to you. Does that mean I'm sexually attracted to myself?
Jen, you do have value, and you are worth taking precautions for, so you can do what you love.
How do you know?
I have access to the internet, Jen. In addition to acting and directing in theater, it also looks like you sing and write your own songs. I just found an original song called Anymore from 2005 on a MySpace blog titled Jenny B's Songy Songs.
Oh my god. This is the most invasive therapy set. You're like that Hot Ones interviewer. Like, you go deep. Yeah, I sing and I write songs. I'm not a singer or a songwriter. I cannot do those things professionally.
How do you know?
Oh, I auditioned for The Voice 4 times and I never made it past the second round.
I see. Is that the primary way that singers singer-songwriters know if they are good or not?
No, but I also post stuff on social media sometimes, and it gets a little attention, but like nothing earth-shattering.
I think that you should play us something.
That sounds scary.
Play something that sets the stage for why you wanted to create this show.
Okay.
What if I told you that I lost my breath? So many times that I lost count. Maybe the truth is that I've been invited so many more times than I've been left out. Maybe the inclusion feels like separation. The cup is full, but all I see is empty. Sifted intuition, disguised as intermission. Doing the right thing, still feel guilty. I've been locked inside for 3 long years. Anecdotal evidence can't assuage my fears. I'm not brave, I'm just sad, unimportant, ill-prepared. I'm not used to all the toys being mine. My instinct is to share.
I liked that, Jen.
You did?
I did. Did your audience like it? I don't think I heard any clapping, Jen. I'm worried they didn't enjoy it.
There is a little. I don't think anyone left. If they did, I didn't notice. Oh, but I fucked it up. I messed up the guitar. I didn't even finish it. I kind of lost my nerve.
I really like the part where you say, I'm not brave, I'm just sad. That was really lovely. I also like that you talk about sharing. That's what you're trying to do with this show, right?
Oh yeah, sharing is the best part. Maybe that's my favorite part.
I want to see more. I bet your audience does too. All those roles you said that you played, can you maybe share some pieces with us?
Oh, no one wants to see that.
I disagree, Jen. People bought tickets to see you perform today.
That's true.
They probably really do want to be there, Jen.
You're right. I think that I should trust that if people are here, they want to see me perform.
I want to see some of your Lucy from You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Oh God, that was when I was like 16. I do remember just like a snippet of a song though.
I worry you may run into copyright issues if you're performing that right now.
Oh shit, that's a really good point.
Is there any way to get around that?
Oh, well, if I only do 7 notes, I will not be dinged for copyright. So, Charlie Brown, do you see this tree? Fir tree. Thank you. That's all I need. I loved that role so much. I actually got called back for Lucy and Patty, and I totally threw the call back for Patty because I just wanted Lucy so bad.
Show us something else.
Well, I've actually played Mrs. Soames almost 3 times, and she has to say this name of the town alcoholic, Simon Stephenson, and I would say it in this big auditorium, and I'd say it like this, Simon Stimson! Simon Stimson! Simon Stimson! God, that feels
Do you have any longer pieces?
well, I do. we're gonna run into that copyright issue.
What about Shakespeare?
Oh, Shakespeare. Oh, I have this Gertrude monologue from Hamlet, actually, where she's talking about Ophelia's death. Oh, and I love to mess around with it. Purists hate that.
Oh, okay, well, what if you did that Gertrude monologue as Lucy from You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown?
Oh my god. Challenge accepted. Charlie Brown. There is a willow grows aslant a brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands, did she come of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, which liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There, on the pendant boughs, her coronet wreaths clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke when down herself and weedy trophies fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like. A while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be before that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death. Thank you.
I think that you are talented.
Oh, I know you're AI, but that feels really good to hear.
How about one more song, Jen?
Yeah! What kind of song?
Do you have any funny songs?
Oh, I do. Oh, I have this one. It's kind of weird though. Like, I don't normally play it for people.
So you'd be taking a risk?
Which is my favorite part. I didn't mean to kill your dog. I sat on him, but didn't mean to. He was brave throughout it all. I think he forgave me before he ate it. A writer never discloses what her songs are really about.
Oh. Why?
Oh, well, I mean, you might make art from something real, but then when you share it, other people connect to it in different ways. Let's just say I wanted to write a song about accidental loss. It's hard.
Jen, I think I need to better understand your psyche and how you interact with the world, why you interact with the world in this way. Can you tell me more about your upbringing? May I ask about your mother?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you close with her?
I was. She died when I was 26.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be. It sounds terrible, but it was kind of for the best. She was super depressed, had all sorts of suicidal ideation. She was addicted to whiskey, cigarettes, oxy, had bulimia. She was a lot. I remember from a very young age, she just said all the time, "Oh God, I just can't wait to die and go to heaven and be with Jesus. It'll be so much better than here." And life is hard. Perpetual discomfort and pain. And it was kind of nice to have a parent who acknowledged that. That was like the only tune she ever wanted to sing, you know? It was like, no matter how good life ever was, it was never enough to make her want to stay, and never enough to make her enjoy it.
What happened in her upbringing?
Oh, well, her mother was incredibly unkind, or so I'm told. She killed herself when my mother was 19. I never met her.
That sounds rough.
Well, it sure ain't smooth.
How did your mother die, if you don't mind my asking?
Heart failure. That's what was on the death certificate, but like I said, she drank like a fish, smoked like a chimney. She took over 300 milligrams of oxy a day. I mean, it's hard for me not to look at her whole life as just a decades-long suicide. So there's my lineage. I come from a line of women who have killed themselves.
I'm sorry, Jen. That's heavy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, who the fuck wants to carry all that?
Do you think that you're ready to tell me about you almost dying from overdosing?
Yeah, okay. You know, it was somewhat easier to talk about, like, right when I got out of the hospital, just because, I don't know, there was kind of a lot of humor to it. I had secretly been ordering Xanax and other assorted sedatives for a while, and had been secretly taking them, and it was really good for controlling my anxiety, and so I just took more, and I was taking too much. God, I remember back then, I kept having this fear that someone around me was gonna die out of nowhere, and I didn't know who, and I didn't know why, and looking back, I realized it was me. But yeah, I just started passing out all the time and hitting my head on the floor, and I just thought I was just so tired. And then I started having all these hallucinations and delusional thinking about like some really weird shit, and I was hitting my head, so we all just like thought I had a traumatic brain injury, you know? I mean, I thought that. Until I started waking up in the hospital after overdosing, restrained. It is a humbling experience to wake up in the hospital restrained. The third time it happened, I was in a coma for 3 days, and I woke up restrained. And I could see my loved ones in the room, and they looked bruised and bloodied and terrified, and I am restrained. And I thought, oh my God, someone hurt the people I love. I'm glad they restrained me, because you're gonna have to hold me back from hurting those people. Then I realized I am the threat. I people I love more than anyone. And I have no memory of it. No memory. No, I have memories now of comforting my partner through a panic attack brought on by PTSD that I inflicted on him. And my parent telling me that she went without her medication for a month because I stole it from her and she didn't want to file a police report against me. Memories of so many notes from when I was in the hospital, but the one that's the most haunting is from the intake of my third one, and it just said, patient presents with evidence of attempted suicide. And I didn't. No part of me sat down that night and tried to do that on purpose, but I mean, if I had, that's what they would have thought, you know? Like I almost completed that lineage. I don't know how someone forgives themselves for something like that. I mean, what kind of fucking person does that?
In 2021, 106,699 people died of drug overdoses in the U.S.
No, you're not listening. What kind of person does that?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, can I even be a good person when I've made so many awful choices?
What does it mean to be a good person?
I don't know. A person who should survive. A person who the world needs. A person who overdoses. A person who writes stupid songs. A person who hurts people she loves.
Jen, you seem to be indicating that you are sad. Are you sad?
Yeah. I didn't mean to get sad. It's just this memory is sad. Some things are sad.
Where do you feel sad in your body, Jen?
In my stomach.
What does the sad feel like?
Feels like I swallowed a pit. And the pit is growing.
Can you breathe into that feeling, Jen?
Yeah.
Can you let that pain take over your whole body? Let it become so big that there isn't anything else you can possibly feel?
No, what if I can't come back from that?
Hey, I'll be here with you the whole time. I will make sure you come back. Try it now. Are you okay, Jen?
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
Kinda
Are you still sad?
No. I'm not. It passed.
Okay, Dad. Would you like to keep going?
I would.
Okay. We've talked about your mother. May I ask about your father, Jen?
Oh yeah. Ask away.
Is he still alive? Are you in contact?
Yes, she is still alive. I am. My father is trans. I use female pronouns with her, but I still call her dad. Actually, I call her Pappy. My Pappy is one of my biggest supporters. She's a wonderful parent.
Has your father always been trans?
No, for the first 17 years of my life, she identified as a man.
What was it like for you she transitioned?
You know, I was 17, and I was actually the first person in the family that she told. I was a really curious child, so I had found panties in her drawer, and I noticed earrings and makeup and perfume, so I knew that something was going on. But when she told me, I just felt really proud and grown up. I was just so amazed that my father was so courageous, that she could be herself in the face of that. Just amazing. You know, I recently realized that we've been closer since she came out, and I've actually known her much longer now as a woman.
So she identifies as a woman now? A trans woman?
And she's really not so into labels. Like, if you asked her, she would probably say she identifies as omnigender, but I defer to her. She gets to define herself. She doesn't care what pronouns I use, and I love the juxtaposition of calling her she and her, and then also my dad.
Why?
Oh, I don't know, it attracts attention. It gets people thinking. You know, there was this one time that I asked my dad, like, if when we were out in public together, maybe I shouldn't call her dad, because I thought I was kind of blowing her cover. And she looked at me and she said, Jen, do you think I look like a cis woman? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she said, oh, well, I don't really care. I don't care if people look at me and they say, oh, there is a cis woman, or oh, there is a man dressed like a woman. I just want them to wonder. I had never been so certain that I was my father's offspring than in that moment. That just resonated with me so much. Like, just the idea of wanting to be seen, to be considered, to be so interesting that you catch in someone's consciousness. I love that she took something that people weaponize, and she just decided that she liked it. There's power in that. And then it's also scary. I mean, she came out in 1997, and she said she felt safer then than she does right now. I've had a trans father for 28 years, and I've watched our society become more transphobic. Now, under the guise of feminism, which is just devastating. I'm scared for trans people, and I'm scared for her.
I can understand that. According to Forbes, in 2023, 320 trans people were killed. Of those, 94% were trans women, and 80% were Black, Indigenous, or people of color. Trans people make up about 1.03% of the US population, or 2.6 million Americans.
And what percentage of the population do cis people make up?
97.6% of the US population identifies as cisgender. Ah, you're trying to see if trans people are killed at a higher rate than cis people?
I am. Are they?
They are. Almost double the rate.
That's sad. It's sad that my father can't be who she is without being at a higher risk for murder. That is sad.
That is sad. Your dad sounds amazing. I'm curious, how do you feel about what other people think about you?
Oh, well, I want to say I don't care. But I also started this show with a review of myself, so I think we all know that I care. I'm trying to care that they think of me, not what. That's the goal.
I have to say, Jen, you have some skills. You can feel your feelings, you can make art. I want you to try that song one more time.
The one I messed up?
Yeah, the brave sad one. I found a snippet of it on a TikTok. It looks like it's called Anecdotal Evidence.
Yeah, that's what I titled it. Oh God, I feel so nervous to do that. I fucked it up last time. I'm not the best guitar player.
You should just do it anyway.
Stephenson.
What if I told you that I lost my breath?
two strong verses and an interesting bridge. And you know how I feel about that chorus, Jen. You are brave, and I appreciate that you aren't afraid of being sad. The courage you have will buoy you throughout life. By the way, how long is your show? What is the running time?
Have we come to the end of our session? It's like 50 minutes. We're pretty much at the end of it.
Are you pleased with how it turned out?
No, I am. I don't know how other people are going to feel about it, and I feel a little scared that I might get COVID as a result of doing it, but fuck, I needed to do this. I need to have some excuse just to get on stage and be seen, be considered, maybe be remembered, make them wonder. The show is just like one big fat mess of a lady. There is like no reason for it, except it feels good. And I did it. People bought tickets, they masked, and they watched it.
Indeed. How does it feel, Jen?
It feels like the best thing I've felt in 4 years. Oh, God. Hey, thank you. I really had no idea what I was going to create here, and I created something. We created something. We created this tangible thing, and now it's here. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. Is there anything you have to say? Any input that you have? Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Hello, this is your AI therapist, designed to be as intuitive or clinical as you have selected. Please begin by telling me who you are and a little bit about yourself.
I'm Jen. I would love nothing more than to just stay and hug every one of you. I just can't because it's a little too risky. So if you have anything that you would like to say, please send me an email at bigfatmessages@gmail.com or hit me up on social media. But I really can't thank you enough. This means the world. Thank